Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today here we have a new GTA 5 Online video, and this is going to be a big one. We're going to be talking about all of the latest GTA Online Agents of Sabotage DLC vehicle and mission leaks. We have another sort of like mid-season update to look forward to, most likely in March time, just like we've had with Last Dose in March of 2023 and then the Cluck and Bell farm raid in March of 2024. It seems like we're shaping up to have another one of those with the new aircraft, airfield, hangar, business and property, the Oscar Guzman files mission and quest line. We have a lot of cool stuff to look forward to. We're going to be talking about all the drip feed vehicles, the missions, how you can run this business. We have some side and supporting content and some cool cutscenes to check out. So thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel. And with that being said, let's get started here. I'm really excited for this. This is the Mackenzie Field Hangar. So we'll talk about the description of it. Of course, the purchase price for this is going to be $1,475,000. It does not appear that this is going to have any upgrades to it either, just like the Darnell Bros Garment Factory. So just a separate purchase. You purchase the Garment Factory, you can also make a purchase of this when it comes out. You know, of course, I think the most likely candidate for a release date is going to be like the mid-season update coming in March of 2025. That's probably when the HSW and expanded and enhanced content is coming for the PC platform as well. We've seen multiple iterations of Rockstar kind of like divvying up and splitting the winter DLC for the year kind of in half. They give us part of it in December, and then they give us like the second half or the extra third of it basically in the springtime in March. Of course, with the LS Struggle Wars update, we saw that in December of 2022, but we got First Dose along with the Acid Lab in December for the winter DLC, but we saw the second part of that DLC, Last Dose, in March of 2023. Then of course with the Chop Shop in December of 2023, we got the Chop Shop with that, but we got the Cluck and Bell farm raid in March of 2024. And this year we're getting the Oscar Guzman, business with the Mackenzie Field Hangar, as well as the missions probably in March of 2025 as well. That's just going to be my guess if they continue with that same pattern. But let's talk about it here. Since the previous owner brutally murdered every debt enforcement agent we sent after him, we decided to call it quits. The Mackenzie Field Hangar is back on the market, and oh boy, is the application process easy. If you can sign your name without causing further loss of life to our staff, you're just the kind of owner we've been praying for. This hangar is in a prime location for those wishing to set themselves up in an independent trade with footage for your own personal aircraft storage, and this will come with 20 extra aircraft storage slots. So say if you already have a Fort Zancudo or an LSIA hangar and you're maxed out, on the floor, but also in storage, well, we have even more storage space at this Mackenzie Field Hangar, which is going to be pretty cool. This is, of course, Trevor's hangar from the story mode, and this hangar is also going to include some mission setups, personal aircraft requests. We're going to get into some extra storylines and quest lines, so let's talk about that next. The location for the Mackenzie Airfield Hangar, of course, is up here in Grapeseed, as you can see. Again, Trevor's location from the story mode, and we have the Oscar Guzman files again, and this is going to be, a contact mission style job that we're going to be discussing, once again coming from Arthur1781 over on Twitter here. Let's check out some of the awards associated with these files and things like that. So we'll just kind of go through. If you steal one piece of additional equipment in a single playthrough of the Oscar Guzman files, again, you'll unlock that award. We also have additional, like complete the Titan job as a leader to earn $250,000. Complete all Oscar Guzman files again missions as a crew member to earn $100,000. Complete 5 arms trafficking missions for Oscar. Basically, the main storyline is going to be those, like the Titan 250D missions and the Oscar Guzman files again. But the side content, sort of like, the police dispatch work with the bottom dollar bounties, whereas the bounties was the main content, dispatch work was the side content. The arms trafficking missions are going to be the side content for the update, like the B tier type content. If you deliver the ammunition and all bonus objectives directly onto the trailer and set up ammunition, you'll get that award. Complete setup ammunition leader, Iron Mule as leader, and then survive one shark attack. This is going to be really interesting to showcase here, also coming from Arthur1781 as well as Lucas Yoshi on Twitter. You guys will see you can get attacked by sharks in this upcoming DLC, which is going to be very interesting. But first, let's go through. You could see Arthur's actually going to buy this hangar right here. So you just go up right to the property. You could probably get it off Maze Bank foreclosures as well. Buy the hangar for $1.475 million. And there you go. Now he skips part of the cutscene here, but you can kind of see like the introduction right when you get introduced to this business. That's Oscar Guzman right there behind you. And this is when he leaves at the end of like that intro cutscene. And then, you can see the interior. We'll just take a look. Of Of course, you have your office setup, the desk, the office computer, all the various, you know, decorative things. You have a personal quarters, the couch, things like that. You know, it's the same as any other interior property, things like that. Nothing super crazy, but again, it is what it is. This is going to be your home base and home of operations at the Mackenzie Field office right there. So this is where you can enter on the side, go right back in, and you could see some of the missions we're going to be taking a look at here. So when you log onto the computer, you have the Oscar Guzman files, again, the main storyline, and you can also request work, which is going to be, you know, those like arms trafficking work, things like that. Now, starting up the setup mission is called Up and Running. That's just getting introduced to the business, things like that. And you also have this really neat feature here. If you go outside, you can actually request different aircraft. You can request your personal aircraft. You can request the Duster 300H. I'm sure every single personal aircraft that you have stored here, you can request and actually pull it out of the storage. It's not going to be like something where you can explore inside, I guess, which is going to be really unfortunate. But nonetheless, this is just a screenshot of you being able to request personal aircraft. And now we'll also showcase here, these are all of the missions in the Oscar Guzman files again. So you select those. We have Up and Running. We have the setup mission for the Mogul, setup for the Intel, setup for the Iron Mule, and setup for ammunition. And then we have the Titan job itself. Now, if you request work, this is those arms trafficking missions. So let's just kind of go through and you can see what the vibe is. It says arms trafficking, destroy the rival shipments. You get kind of like your intro phone call, and you're basically just destroying a bunch of rival shipments. And that's basically it. You could see the payout there and everything pop up. You get $30,000 for doing that work. So it's not like a crazy amount of money, but consider it very close to, like, you know, the Terabyte mission payouts of 30K, dispatch work pays 25K. It's just like B or C tier mission content that's supportive for like the main content, which in the context of the Mackenzie Airfield hangar, as well as the Oscar Guzman files again missions, those are the main content. That's the main DLC section. And this is just, you know, the subset, you know, if there's cooldowns, things like that, you could do this stuff in the meantime. Now, this is really interesting information here. This is the shark attack animation from the Oscar Guzman files again mission strand. Basically, this is coming from Lucas7 Yoshi, and he hard-coded the animation progression, but in release, basically, you're gonna use a button to break free. You gotta press that button repeatedly to break free, and there's an award for doing so as well, like we talked about. So that's, you can kind of see right there if you either break free or you just die. Here's just more animations. This is the end of the mission cutscene when you return to free mode after playing the Oscar Guzman files again mission strand. You could see what it looks like with your main character, as well as if you're playing with up to 3 different friends and crew members here. That's just like how it looks like, all that type of stuff, just as an example to showcase it. I like this one a lot. With this animation, this is going to be used in the finale, and so you're just like loading shells basically into your Titan 250D, which is going to be really cool. This is going to be in the middle of the mission, so this is a mid-mission cutscene where basically the helicopter that you're using drops this box next to it, and you can mash a button to actually load these missiles faster, or these shells, right into your plane. So that's pretty cool right there. The helicopter itself in this mission is going to be flown by Oscar. Again, this is coming from Lucas7 Yoshi. And then next, before we move into the vehicles, this is going to be the first look, of course, at the second part of the DLC. Once again, the arms smuggling missions from Oscar Guzman. Once you buy the property, this is kind of like getting started with it, and you'll see like the introduction cutscene here. So let's let that play out.
Hey! Welcome! You must be the new owner, huh? You know, seeing your name on the deed was relief. The last owner of this place was, you know. Come on. Violence. The great American pastime. And also our greatest export, huh? This is a golden opportunity. There's a gap in the market for us right now. The money you spent? All invested. New routes, new contacts. Okay. New entertainment. I'm telling you, my friend, we got a good thing going here. Few flights here and there, you in the cockpit, me on the comms. We're gonna be the biggest runners in the state, man. Not just across the border. Stateside too. If they want it, we can deliver, baby. I knew from the moment I saw you. We're the same. Come on, I'm gonna show you the office. You got everything you need, man. Snacks, beer, that bed, quality and durable, you know? It can really take a beating, man. Okay, come on. This laptop, all set up and ready to go. All you have to do is arrange drops, contact the buyers, get a little job going. Simple, huh? You make yourself at home, okay? Whatever you need, you come to Oscar Guzman, okay?
And that is basically the end of the intro cutscene. Now we have one more thing before we move on to the vehicles here, which I want to talk about. And it's a new drip feed collectible called Yanbao or Wanbao. And you collect all 36 of these treasures and you'll unlock the Gold Snake Santo Capra outfit. So once you grab it, of course, you can see Wanbao, 1 out of 36 collected. You get some extra money and really, you're just going after the outfit. Now we have one more thing to showcase. These are going to be all of the treasure locations here. So when these release, you know, we can do a guide coming out on them. We can't see the specifics just yet because this map is too far zoomed out. But once you go through, you know, you probably just want to either start up north and go south and zigzag, or go in a circle, you know, counterclockwise, clockwise, whatever, you name it. Go south, north, north, south, east, west, whatever the case is. But you can probably get all these in less than an hour, or, you know, maybe even like less than 40 minutes here, possibly. If it's only 36, well, I guess, yeah, an hour sounds about right there, because some of these are actually pretty far spaced out. But nonetheless, that's what we have right here for the collectible. Now let's talk about the vehicles. But let's start off here on Warstock. As you can see, we have 5 new vehicles that are upcoming in the drip feed here. One of them is the Taco Van, and the trade price is almost $259,000. Normal price is $345,000. I would be really curious here if we're gonna get like taco delivery missions or just something using this vehicle where, you know, we're just like delivering tacos to people. We have pizza delivery missions, we have taxi work, you know, we have simple things like that. I'm sure we're gonna have some type of content or missions to do with tacos as well. That would be actually really cool. Next up, we have our first police vehicle in the drip feed here, which is the Willard Outreach Faction. So Willard, the car manufacturer, and then the normal car is just the faction based off of the Buick Regal, but here it's the Outreach Faction, $4.15 million, trade price of $3.112 million. Very expensive here. We'll see actually how fast it goes if you're going to get better performance than the normal faction in the game, because it's not the quickest, but it's also not like the absolute worst vehicle to drive around. Nonetheless, of course, you can get the trade price for doing various new Vincent Dispatch work challenges, requirements, unlocking the trade price. Part of it, you're going to need to do the Cluck and Bell slush fund missions right there, so just keep that in mind. Same thing when it comes to the Coquette D10. I think this is the Coquette D10 Pursuit is the full name. $5.62 million with a trade price of $4.215. But this is awesome. This is the Coquette D10, but of course the police variant. We saw this in the trailer for the Agents of Sabotage DLC. I think players are looking forward to this vehicle most when it comes to Warstock vehicles. We'll also talk about the Titan 250D, but starting next, we do have this awesome heli. It's a Pavlo. It's a DH7 Iron Maiden. I'm pretty sure that's the full name of the vehicle. It's a little bit cut off here, but this is going to be insane because it's basically going to be functioning similar to a cargo bob. Of course, you got like the communications and stealth array on the front here. Of course, based on that MH-53 Sikorsky Pavlo, this is going to be at least what I think is going to be a sick combat search and rescue helicopter in this game. We'll see like the applicability on missions that you can use it with. You know, it's probably not going to come armored, or excuse me, weaponized, but it should come armored because this is going to be like a massive vehicle that's going to be flying around the sky. Same thing with that Titan 250D, but as you can see, a normal price of $2.345 million with a trade price of $1.758 million. So just keep that in mind before you want to buy it. Expect you to be paying that much for it. In the rear, it's got like a big ramp that you can enter, so we'll see how many people it seats. You know, if you could sit like a bunch of your friends and a bunch of your crew members in like the benches inside, you know, you should be able to hold like 16 people or something in the back. That would be pretty sweet right there. I'm sure this is going to actually get featured in some of the aircraft and the Mackenzie Airfield missions with Oscar Guzman, which we're going to be talking about. And then next up, the AC-130, which everyone's come to know and love now that we know it's in the drip feed. The Titan 250D, $4.87 million purchase price, MSRP value on Warstock, with a trade price of $3.652 million. So of course the police vehicles are going to be a little bit more expensive, at least the Coquette D10 Pursuit. I was expecting this to be a little bit more. I thought maybe this would be like 6 or 7 million, considering we've never seen anything like this. So having the Titan 250D, AC-130, and GTA Online is going to be pretty sick. Now, next up on Southern San Andreas Super Autos, we do have the Vapid Firebolt ASP when that releases. Of course, that's also an unlock if you complete the career progress tiers, and you get to tier 4 and complete that if you're on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. You can see this has a purchase price of $1,894,000. And then lastly, we have the Vapid Uranus Law Speed with a purchase price of $1.14 million right there. I don't know what vehicle this is going to be based on, but we'll see kind of like the performance of it. It looks like this is probably going to be the most low-key purchase you can get. And then probably the one I'm most excited for, besides, you know, the AC-130 and the D10 Pursuit, the Invitero Coquette D5. Now, what's really interesting is Rockstar kind of based the rear of this off of like the actual C6 Corvette in the game, but the front of this still kind of looks like a mix between the C6 as well as the C5. I feel like they could have done a much better job on like the front end of this Corvette and this Coquette in the game. The rear end looks nice. It just looks like it lacks a little bit of detail. Like Rockstar nailed it with the Bravado Banshee GTS and those newer or the latest Dodge Vipers that came out before they stopped, you know, producing them and ceased production. But when it comes to this Coquette D5, I feel like it just could have been a little bit better, but from the gameplay I'll link it down in the description below. All this information right here is coming from Arthur1781 on Twitter, and I'll talk about, you know, my other sources when we go through those other pieces of information. But this vehicle is going to be pretty cool. It's fast, the performance is great. I'm not a huge fan of the aesthetics of it. I feel like it doesn't look quite like a C5 Corvette in the front or the back, and it doesn't look like a C6 either at the front or the back. It's like a mixture between the two, and I would have rather just have like completely separate vehicles. Get, you know, the C6 for this DLC or the C5, and then either the C5 or C6 over the summer as well, depending on which one comes first, which one comes second. But those are the 8 vehicles that are releasing in the drip feed of Agents of Sabotage. And yeah, that is everything that we can expect, of course, in the drip feed with the vehicles. We have 8 of them, so they should last us until summer, and honestly, even at that point, Rockstar may release like one a month, and then probably during one of those weeks where they plan on releasing a DLC vehicle, we may get 1 or 2. Maybe we'll get the Pavlo along with the AC-130 during the same week, or, you know, they'll shove in the taco truck with another release vehicle like one of the police cars or something like that. But either way, we have all that to look forward to. We have the Oscar Guzman Flies Again missions. Post-edit hazard here, recording my outro. I read it as Oscar Guzman Files just because, of course, we have the Agents of Sabotage DLC FIB files, and so once I read it once, incorrectly, of course, I just never thought about looking at the name of it again. So you guys feel free to roast me in the comments for that. I deserve it, but nonetheless, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Also, check me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. Those are the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube. I live stream GTA Online several times a week, and we've been money grinding the new Agents of Sabotage DLC. It's been really fun. Since I don't live stream on YouTube anymore, I haven't in the past, you know, 5.5 years. You got to check me out over on Twitch if you want to see some GTA Online money grinding live streams from me. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios, amigos.